It's that time of year when the Brainiac Corporation gets physical. Yes, the whole team's got the day off, ready to pull on their plimsolls, bare naked flesh, and join together in the spirit of scientific sporting competition. Stand by for thrills, spills, and increased heart rates.
Hello.
Welcome to the worst excesses of science abuse that are the Brainiac Sports Day.
Brainiac. 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 Brainiac.
Welcome to the Brainiac Sports Day, the show that does for science what lunchboxes do for sprinters.
The big sports science tonight. An explosive meeting between athletics and chemicals. Can rockets be used to play football?
Blast off!
And which state of matter reigns supreme?
Joining me here at this sporting extravaganza is my expert summariser, John Tickle. There he is, there.
Hi, Vic. Yes, we've got some great experiments and events lined up. It's going to be a cracking day.
Joining me all the way from Russia is liquid nitrogen expert Yuri Busikov. Hello, Yuri. We've also got Dr. John P. Kilcoyne with us. Doc, are you looking forward to it?
Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be very, very special.
And Nurse here in case anybody needs anything kissing better.
Hi, Vic.
But before all that, no sporting event would be complete without the opening torch ceremony. But what if you were entrusted with the flame of Olympus and lost it and had to quickly make a makeshift one out of objects found around the house? Objects like a baguette, an umbrella, a stack of ice cream cones, a used toilet brush, or a bratwurst sausage. Which of these would make the best DIY torch? Each of these DIY torches has been doused in a special lighting fuel. Which one do you fancy, John?
This bratwurst sausage, I like that one. That's full of animal fats. That's going to go up like a candle. The toilet brush, well, it's used. There's loads of petrochemicals left over from the toilet on there. This one, far too insubstantial and quite unwieldy. I don't think that one's going to do very well. As for the umbrella, it's got a nice wooden handle there. That will burn quite well. And as for the baguette, well, lots of carbohydrates, lots of sugars in bread, so that one's going to keep going for a long time.
Which one do you fancy then, John?
If you're a betting man, Vic, put a couple of quid on the toilet brush.
Well, that's the theory. Let's get on with the practice.
Aye.
Ready, get set, go!
As they jostle for position, it's an early lead for the toilet brush. When the torches enter the stadium, they'll have to deal with the added obstacles of rain and wind to be the first to ignite this combustible caravan of light. Technique is key. They can't run too fast for fear of their torches going out and must also maintain a dignified gait that befits the honour of setting fire to a tatty old caravan. Oh, and the toilet brush is extinguished there by our torrential rain simulation. Wind's taking an unfair exception to umbrella. Still, those two do have a history. Only 3 torches left on the final straight. And oh, the cornets have fallen. Their spun sugar structure reduced to a crumbly caramel mess by the heat. So it's salami versus baguette, and baguette's out. It's high water content acting as an internal fire extinguisher, leaving salami to take the unprecedented glory. It's 80% fat content burning away like a candle of pig lard. Time to light a beacon of sport that will outshine the very best of Olympic flames and possibly even the sun itself. Magnificent!
I now declare the Brainiac Sports Day officially open. Let the games begin. As any physicist will tell you, everything that exists, even you at home, falls into one of three categories: solid, liquid, and gas. But which state of matter is the best? We've arranged 3 trials of athletic strength to find out. And the question now is, which is the best at the high jump? What's the high jump, John?
Well, Vic, the furthest up in the air wins.
And the first competitor today is the liquids. And is that Greek fire, John?
We couldn't find the recipe for that, so instead we've gone for isopropyl alcohol. It ignites really well, so it should send it right up into the air there.
Excellent. And what's next?
We have our old favourite, carbon dioxide. It has the great advantage of being compressible, so we can release lots of energy very quickly.
Wow, that sounds tremendous. And finally, we've got solids who've got the most solid of all solids. It's an anvil. Can ironmongery take the biscuit, John?
I think it can. The plan here is quite simple. We're going to winch it up and then drop it down on one end of this seesaw, then a mannequin on the other end, and that'll go shooting up into the air.
Brilliant. And how much does that anvil weigh, John?
48 kilograms, Vic.
So that's about the same weight as a chest of drawers full of mutton?
Yes.
Fabulous. Who do you favour to win, John?
I think I'm going for the liquid.
Let's hope you're right, John. Liquid, into position.
The technique is very simple. Let's face it, it'd have to be. The high jumper is placed into a makeshift cannon on top of 5 bags of isopropyl alcohol, which will then be ignited.
Liquid, go!
And it's a good start by the liquids team. The decision to go with isopropyl alcohol, which uses thermal conductivity to subsonically combust, has pushed the mannequin to a not unimpressive height of 9 meters. If I'm very much mistaken, that's a new world record.
Gas, into position.
And the gas team have also opted for the cannon method of launch. But they'll have to make it a snug fit if the CO2's going to build up enough pressure to pop that jumper like a champagne cork.
Go, gas, go! Ooh!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is unbelievable. 25 meters and all that from a standing start. Gas has literally raised the bar. And one has to say, a textbook landing there.
Solids, in position.
And so it's up to the solids with their 48 kilograms of anvil, children's seesaw and, let's face it, frankly tentative grasp of Newtonian mechanics to step up to the mark and take the lead off the gases.
And solids, go!
Well, let's face it, Sir Isaac wasn't exactly known for his athletic ability. Pitiful attempts by the solids, giving them a shameful 2 meters. There's only one word for it, and that's pathetic. Which means that after the first event, gases take the 3 points, liquids 2, and although they don't deserve any, solids 1. Join us later for event number 2, the shot put. You join us with Bays and Brainiac, about to go head-to-head in what's set to be a thrilling contest. Bays, a tightly woven woolen cloth usually laid across slate for snooker to be played on, so stretched across this frame, it's considered the outsider today. Brainiac, the veteran of dozens of victorious bouts. He's the clear favourite. So, running at full speed, will he break through the bays or bounce off? It's a bounce off! What a result for Bays. On the replay, you can see Brainiac throwing himself into the contest, but he never stood a chance. The Bays bulges and then spits the Brainiac back to claim victory. Bays, something you can't run through.
Hello, and I'm here at Britain's main swimming pool for the best national dressed for swimming freestyle medley, and this is the final. Let's meet some of the competitors.
Yes, we've got 6 Brainiacs in 6 national costumes ready to thrash it out in the learner pool so we can find out which country has the best national dress for swimming in. From Scotland, it's the Tam O'Shanter, kilt, sporran and springy ginger hair. For the USA, it's cowboy clobber of chaps, pony hide waistcoat and Stetson. Representing Germany, the smooth green leather of lederhosen matched with a jaunty hat. From England, it's the ermine and velvet of Tudor wife swapper Henry VIII. Beside him, from Mexico, it's the sombrero, poncho, maracas and droopy mustache. And finally, from Saudi Arabia, it's cool, long flowing robes and a fluffy beard that says, I'm not a woman, so I can do what I like. But which national dress will be the fastest for swimming in?
Competitors ready? On your marks, get set and go.
And they're off! With his streamlined headscarf, the Arab's off to a good start. Back in Saudi, he's swimming in oil, so a dip in the water presents few challenges. The German's beer-based paunch is giving him ballast and his leather lederhosen a dolphin-like outer skin. Is this one battle between nations he could finally win? Henry VIII's hat has slipped, heavy velvet making for a poor swimming cap. It saturates easily and obscures vision. His wives would be literally laughing their heads off. The Mexican's going like he's making a break for the border, but it's hard going with his maracas in his hands. He's unable to make paddles with his palms, necessary for successful swimming, and he's out. Looks like Henry VIII has stopped for a royal wee. The cowboy's 10-gallon hat doesn't actually hold 10 gallons of water, but he's still being weighed down, as any air pocket in those traditional garments gets waterlogged and heavy. And they're on to the second leg. Fueled by deep-fried haggis and a set of unreasonable grievances, the Scotsman's doing well, his skimpy woolen kilt allowing freedom of movement. Like any American, our cowboy found it easy to start this battle, but as the going gets tough, he's no idea how to finish it, and he's out of the race. The Arab started well, but with a sodden heavy gown, it looks like he's run into the sand. That leaves it between the Scot and the German. They're neck and neck, and it's a photo finish. By a matter of nanoseconds, the German's pudgy hand beats the pinched fingers of the Scot to a verruca-encrusted poolside. So, the best national dress for a swimming race is German.
Incredible. And second, of course, is Scotland.
Which will burst first? A sporting conundrum posed by Dr. John P. Kilcoyne, Principal Lecturer at the University of Sunderland. So, what chemicals does Dr. Kilcoyne have in his sports bag today?
Liquid air, solid carbon dioxide, balloons. Which will burst first?
Also to come on Brainiac Sports Day, what makes the best improvised ice skate? Can rockets help in a penalty shootout? And Ozart! Super Brainiac bowls out a caravan.
This is Brainiac Sports Day, the show that does for science what cricket boxes do for googlies.
Dr. John P. Kilcoyne of the University of Sunderland asked the question, which will burst first? A balloon filled using solid carbon dioxide or one filled using liquid air? These substances are usually gases at normal temperatures. Adding water to solid CO2 brings about the change back, whereas liquid air boils in the comparative heat of the bottle. But the gaseous substance today is liquid air, meaning that it bursts first.
What a great burst.
Earlier this week, I went down to the Brainiac Rocket Centre in Bovington to see if there's any sporting stuff that NASA never tried. Leisure pursuits are important to the modern-day spaceman, but can they enjoy the sports without the risk of injury? Can we play football with rockets?
We'll be taking 2 rocket-powered penalty kicks, but can we hit the back of the net?
We've attached these fins here to ensure that the balls fly through the air with the greatest of ease. And these rockets will hurl the balls at the goal with 12 kilograms of thrust for 1 second. The world's first rocket-propelled footballs. NASA never tried this. OK, Brainiacs, clear the goal mouth. Countdown in several seconds. OK, final checks. Countdown in 10, 9, 10, 8, 5, 7, 3, 2, 1. Countdown, blast off!
Ooh! First attempt sliced wide, unlucky. Plenty of power, no accuracy. Time for the second attempt. And it's hit the woodwork! Not so much in off the post as in through the post. The swerve on the ball sending the keeper the wrong way. Goal!
Wow! Look at that! The power behind that ball. Let's have the results. So, when Earth finally wins the Cosmos Cup final, you can't say that the Brainiac rocket scientists didn't have a bit to do with it. Take that to NASA.
Earlier today, our 3 states of matter went head-to-head in the high jump. With solids and liquids underperforming, it was gas that soared above the competition. Time for event number 2.
A sport practiced by the brawniest and hairiest of athletes of either sex. But what exactly is a shot put? John?
Well, Vic, the shot put involves picking up a 7.26 kilogram iron ball and throwing it as far as you can.
And the liquid we'll be using is water.
We're going with the classic pressurised water from a fireman's hose today. That should send the shot a jolly decent way.
And the solid we'll be using is gunpowder. Tell me about that, John.
It's a mixture of potassium nitrate, sulphur and charcoal. Basically a cocktail of exploding grits.
And finally, it's the gas. It's CO2. It's a funny old gas, isn't it, John?
And very powerful when it's compressed. It's going to send that shot away like a pea shooter.
Then let the events begin. Solids, into position.
The shot's placed on top of a cake of gunpowder, which should send it skywards. Simply light a 10-second fuse and leg it. Not very accurate, but an impressive distance for solids.
Liquids, into your positions.
Yes, the liquid team have gone for that most liquid of liquids, water, hoping that the pressure from the fireman's hose will push the shot up the guttering to a respectable distance.
Liquid, go!
And it's H2, oh dear. It might be okay for getting cats out of trees, but that's a disappointing 323 centimetres.
Gas, into your positions.
Gases have placed their shot in a CO2 cannon. Carbon dioxide, famous for wheelchair propulsion, apparently it can also be used to extinguish fires.
Gas, go!
It's a nice landing, but like a fart in a hurricane, the gas team's 3 meters 5 is useless. We have a clear winner.
The solid ball is way over there. How do you feel about that, John?
The solid has won because gunpowder, there you've got a chemical reaction which is actually releasing energy from the substance. And that process...
So, as John Tickle sucks all the fun out of sport, let's have a look at the leaderboard. Solids get the full 3 points from that event, Liquid second with 2 points again, and Gas a lowly 1 point. So, all level on the triathlon with 1 event remaining, the 50-metre sprint.
Come in. Stand over there for me, please. Right, Mr. Tickle, what can we do for you today?
Nurse, I'm bored. Can you show me something interesting that I can do with my body, please?
Certainly, try this. Please try and catch this ball.
Okay. Yes, I can do that. I'm good at catching.
With both your eyes open, you actually see from two slightly different angles, enabling you to judge exactly where the ball is in the air.
Now try again with one eye closed.
Oh, okay. Ooh, how strange.
With one eye closed, however, it's much harder to judge distances, making catching surprisingly tricky.
Oh, how frustrating and bizarrely difficult. Thanks, nurse. That'll keep me amused for hours.
Not at all. Goodbye, Mr. Tickle.
Goodbye.
Welcome to Liquid Nitrogen Roadshow. Liquid nitrogen, very special, can transform ordinary into extraordinary. Today, sporting balls. Ursula, please bring me my balls. She is like ballsy rock singer Elkie Brooks. These are ordinary balls. The squashing ball, the tennis ball, and the volleyball. Before meeting liquid nitrogen, these balls behave like swollen bladder. First, I introduce volleyball to liquid nitrogen. See, it has shriveled and shrunk like old woman and lost its urge to bounce squash ball into liquid nitrogen. The tennis ball, soft and squishy, like nice ripe plum. Flattened like American pancake. For finale is shuttlecock ball. Crushed like capitalism. Liquid nitrogen is a miracle.
Ewan Thomas, MBE, Olympic silver medalist in the 400-metre relay. Brainiac, imbecile, a man for whom success is an alien concept. Podgy Brainiac could never win a race against a finely tuned Welsh Superman like Ewan, unless he follows the Brainiac top tips for cheating in a race. 5. Place a parachute on your opponent's back whilst he's not looking. The air drag will slow him down, allowing you to overtake him and snatch victory. 4. Make friends with the council workmen. They can close the lane your opponent's in and keep him delayed with endless bureaucratic hold-ups, whilst you romp home to medal-winning glory.
On your mark.
3. Carry a gun. Not to mow down your opponent, that would be wrong. But if you use it to let off a false start, he'll be disqualified and you get the gold without having to run a meter. 2. Put superglue on your opponent's starting blocks. He'll be going nowhere and you'll be off and on your way to the palace to pick up your well-earned MBE, just like what Ewan's got. 1. Create a diversion. Runners are simple souls, focused on getting from one end of the track to the other. If you send them in the wrong direction, they'll not notice until it's too late and you've got the ribbon firmly round your neck. So follow our advice, and even if you're a hopeless person like this Brainiac, you could end up coming home with the gold.
I can do sports science, me.
Dedicated as ever, Charlotte Hudson can hardly wait to discover what sporting scientific question a member of the public has for her.
Name?
Matt.
Number?
9.
Single digits. Dear Brainiac, I play in goal for my school football team, but my nickname is Butterfingers. Bet your teammates love you, Matt. I want to know, if I did have buttery fingers, would I drop the ball? Let's get greased up.
This is the sports science you want done. We just give you the tools for the job. All Matt needs to do is supply his fingers. First, the control. Proof that if the opposition kicked like my 99-year-old grandma, Matt would have nothing but clean sheets. 3 balls have been thrown and 3 caught. Will he be any worse once he's been slipperied up? Butter can be churned from any mammal's milk. The cow's milk is very popular. Cat's milk, less so. The world's main producer of butter is India, although we get ours from a supplier in Milton Keynes. Ball number 1, and it's a catch. Butter contains long chain molecules which tangle together, forming a hard-to-penetrate slippery film. But that's no competition for Matt's technique, and he's held on tightly to all 3. I can't believe he's got better. Get it? Better? Butter? Never mind.
His name is Matt. He wanted to know if you can still catch a ball if you really do have butter fingers. The answer, yes.
I can do science, me.
What if you're in the Olympic ice dancing finals? You've got your glittery shirt and your tight trousers, but there's one problem. You've lost your skates. What do you use instead? What's the best DIY skate? I went to an ice rink to find out. We have here a collection of ordinary household items, all vying for the honour of best alternative ice skate. Which one of these will best replicate sharpened steel on frozen water? This 50-foot course will decide. The quickest one from one end to the other will be crowned champion.
More Orville than Torville, this Brainiac has been hard at work testing improvised skates. The morning session saw staplers post a healthy 17.25 seconds to take the lead, with cheese graters and hair straighteners hot on its heels. But despite their uncanny resemblance to real ice skates, the telephone handsets posted a disappointing 1 minute 38. You join us in the afternoon session with baking trays to go next.
3, 2, 1, go!
Normal ice skates are blade-shaped so that you can dig the edge of the blade into the ice, increasing friction and control. Quality's clearly lacking in the baking trays.
And it's 10.29 seconds. And next it's the turn of the drain pipes, much favoured by my old friend Incy Wincy Spider. And go! Bit of a dodgy start there.
Humans have been skating since at least 3000 BC, although without drain pipes to strap to their feet, they opted for animal bones. This Brainiac seems to be opting for broken bones.
16 seconds and 7. And next we've got a brace of Commoner Garden plasterers trowels. Are you ready? And go!
Low friction on the surface of the ice is a big help when you want to keep moving, but thanks to Sir Isaac Newton, it's a hindrance when you need to speed up or slow down.
9.14 seconds, the trowel.
That's the best time so far. It's all down to the irons. Can they steam to victory?
They're still hot, will that make a difference? Let's find out. Are you ready? Go! A slow start there. Oh.
Oh dear! I've seen dancing on ice, but this is break dancing on ice. The drain pipes were in the gutter, the baking trays weren't quite greased lightning, so after a grueling day's testing, there is only one winner.
And so there we are. After several trials, I can reveal that the best alternative ice skate, with a time of 9.14 seconds, it's the trowel.
The result of an experiment that trebled his IQ to 42. His mission, to rid the world of toxic caravans. Super Brainiac, saving the world with science. In the home counties of England, UK, the countrified gentryfolk are playing the antiquated sport of cricket. The rules are hard to follow, but think of it like baseball for unfit people. the referee ignoring the obvious cheating as the pitcher takes an illegal run-up. Strike! Holy shortstops! This 1970s International Sprite SV has sullied the hallowed wicket of cricket. It has to go! And at times like these, there's only one man you should call. Meanwhile, at the Brainiac Corporation, the most ordinary of ordinary Brainiacs trims an ordinary pineapple. Until... that fruit's gonna have to sit tight. When the balloon goes up, this custard-colored cretin is gonna get there pronto tonto, bringing with him the ability to save the world with science. And today that science is dynamite. Literally. Following the Brainiac proverb, if at first you don't succeed, copy. Our hero's gonna use his radio-controlled timer attached to a cricket ball. Who says us Americans don't get irony? Now that's what I call a delivery. Let's see if you can beat your 100 meters time of 34 seconds. Now we get to see the best part of a cricket match, the highlights. Dynamite is just a way of stabilizing nitroglycerin so it doesn't go off in your hands. Usually highly volatile, in sticks of dynamite, it's like a friendly puppy until you shove a detonator up its rear end. That caravan's been hit for 6. Super Brainiac, saving the world of sport with science.
Will it crumple or will it combust? A sporting conundrum posed by Dr. John P. Kilcoyne, Principal Lecturer at the University of Sunderland. So, what chemicals does Dr. Kilcoyne have in his sports bag now?
Chromium oxide, ethanol. Tennis ball. Will it crumple or will it combust?
Also to come on Brainiac Sports Day. What not to do with your hard-won trophy? Can electricity improve your sporting ability? And who will win the battle between solids, liquids and gases?
This is Brainiac Sports Day, the show that does for science what badly thrown javelins do for hot dog salesmen.
Dr. John P. Kilcoyne of the University of Sunderland posed the question, tennis ball, ethanol and chromium oxide. Will it crumple or will it combust? The answer, combust. Chromium oxide is a strong oxidizer, and when brought into contact with flammable ethanol vapor, it spontaneously causes it to burn. Nice one, Doc.
What a great combustion.
The following celebration is extremely dangerous. Do not try this at home.
Or anywhere else, for that matter.
It's been 21 years, 1 month, 2 days, 5 hours, 22 minutes and 12 seconds, and you've finally run the world. If you're still in the mood for celebrating, whatever you do, don't pour petrol onto your trophy and place it into a microwave cavity. Because you'll find almost immediately the metallic gold paint will fizzle off and that cheap plastic base will start to melt. Until, inevitably, your cup runneth over as it catches the reservoir of petrol and the Olympian spirit burns brightly. Please try to remember, we do these celebrations so you don't have to. Do not try this at home.
And now over to Dusseldorf, where we've got German sports scientist Herr Nerv und Neunzig, who's developing a new way to get peak performance from athletes. Here, we used electricity upon fine-looking young sportsmen to enhance their prowess upon the field of play. Observe, these men are cuddling together with the intention of making a rugby scrum. This team have only their raw brute strength to deploy against their opponents, whereas this team have the added bonus of electrical volt muscle assistance. Okay, play. So, will a massive electrical shock to the muscle groups allow the weaklings to beat the strong men in rugby? Electro-clamping on! Not so good. Still, there are plenty of other sports in the sea. The tug of war. These fine young men are using only their muscles, whereas these men are using their muscles plus electronic clamps. Pull! Zug, man, zug, you swine! The weakling's muscles should seize up with much strength thanks to the electrical pulse, pulling the rope to triumph in the tug. Electro-clamping on! Schlecht. Still, I have one more sport up my trouser. The game of shuttlecocking, a manly sport made manlier still by the controlled application of electricity to the player's wrist. The electric shock should spasm the muscle and give the player a superhuman fear hand smash. Play. Electro-clamping on. Auf Wiedersehen.
Dear John, I find it really embarrassing when my girlfriend asks me to open a jam jar and I can't do it. I've heard that professional sportsmen psych themselves up to achieve a better performance. What state of mind is best if I want that extra burst of strength? That's from Paul Cotton in Basingstoke. Well, Paul from Basingstoke, can a person's emotions give them seemingly superhuman strength? Let's find out. Here we are in the weights room. I'm going to find out how strong I am in a neutral emotional state. This should set a baseline level that I can then try to beat. It's not just a question of being able to lift the weight, but of being able to bench press it up from my chest. First up, 20 kilos. 30 kilograms. No problem. 35, getting tougher. Yeah. 40 kilos. Oh, I can't get it up. Oh, no, that's my limit. No, not a chance, I'm afraid. No matter how much I try, I'm not going to be able to lift those weights. What I need to do is get in touch with my emotions. Now, the first emotion I'm going to try is pride. These lovely ladies are going to watch me attempt to lift these weights, and I'm going to see if my male ego can lend a hand. Let's have a go. This might look like a feeble excuse to ogle at women, but it stimulates the pride a sportsman might feel when competing. I can get the weight down to my chest, but I can't lift it up from there. No, I can't do that. Oh, it's no good. I can't shift that. But don't worry, I've got another idea. Will a massive boost to my self-confidence help me lift the weights? As I enter this room, I enter a world in which I am king. Everybody is reminding me what a truly excellent bloke I really am. Let's go! So, will the self-esteem and confidence that's practically coursing through my veins enhance my physical performance? Getting it off the stand is one thing, but can I lift it? No. I think I need a stronger emotion, something more primal, something like fear. Now over there is my favourite model Concorde. I built that baby when I was 10 years old. That Brainiac is going to smash up my treasured plane if I can't lift the weights. The thought of that happening fills me with fear and dread and gives me the motivation I need to succeed. Well, that's the theory at least. Let's give it a go. Oh no! Right. Now I'm upset. Yeah, that's a more powerful emotion, isn't it? I can work with anger. Right, Brainiac, go and find something that will make me really, really angry. Muppet! This is my girlfriend, Sarah. She fills me with feelings of love and warmth. I distinctly said angry to you. Oi! Hang on a minute! Well, that's done it. Anger chemicals called catecholamines have been released in my brain, increasing my heart rate and blood flow and giving me an instant energy burst. Yes! Success! In my enraged state of mind, I was able to lift weights that the calm John Tickle would have found to be impossible. So there you have it, Paul from Basingstoke. For that extra boost of strength, the state of mind you want to be in is most definitely angry. Bit gutted about losing my girlfriend again, but hey, at least success for science is a consolation.
47-second science. Big science questions in bite-sized chunks. If you filled a football full of helium instead of air, could you kick it further? Found naturally in the large gas fields of the United States, alongside big miners
with high voices,
helium is one of the noble gases like neon, argon, krypton, xenon, redox and don-di-don-don. For the experiment, we'll need a Brainiac who doesn't kick the ball like someone's nan. First up, it's the football au natural. And it's a good effort, landing bang in the centre of our catchment area. But will the helium-filled football beat it? Yes! The lighter-than-air properties of helium will give you an extra 20 centimetres. 47-second science. Big science questions answered in bite-sized chunks. So far in our contest between solids, liquids and gases, it was the gases who blew away the opposition in the high jump. But they ran out of puff in the shot put as the solids exploded to victory, leaving it all hanging on our final event, the 50-metre sprint.
Welcome back to the great State of Matter contest of athletic prowess, and you join us now for the final and most testing event of the day. It's the 50-metre sprint, pitting gas, liquid and solids against each other. What's the contest, John?
Well, Vic, the finishing line is linked to a fuse, and the first to get there following the 50-metre dash will blow up the golden Brainiac Sports Day ceremonial caravan.
Our States of Matter have unleashed some of the finest examples of their kind, and the first is liquid with paraffin. What's paraffin, John?
Well, paraffin is a petrochemical. It's highly flammable, and the question is, will it be able to burn its way down this 50-metre length of guttering faster than the other states of matter?
And the solids have gone for an igniter cord. What's all that about, John?
Well, igniter cord is simply string impregnated with gunpowder, but it burns really quickly when it's enclosed in a tube.
And this is quite incredible, John. It's gas, and they've gone for an amazing four CO2 canisters attached to this wheelchair.
Quite simply, it's the Ferrari of gas-powered vehicles. If anything can beat the formidable speed of igniting liquids and solids, it's this bad boy.
So, before the crowd get any uglier, it's time to find out which state of matter will claim victory and blow up the golden sacrificial caravan. Solids, liquids or gas?
3, 2, 1...
Gas storms ahead, leaving solid and liquid to stomp and gurgle in its wake. Solids furthest behind, that igniter cord just not igniting fast enough. But gas is still charging ahead. Solids catching up with liquid. Gas is heading towards the finish line. It looks like it's running out of steam. No, it's back on. It's going to be gas. It is gas. victory for CO2 and the gases. The Brainiac favourite carbon dioxide showed its true mettle when faced with the might of solids and liquids to rise triumphantly to the top of the podium. The best state of matter is officially gas.
And there we have it. Gas is the clear winner, and so ends another Brainiac Sports Day. Goodbye.